How to fix leaning foundation wall. Essentially, within 3 inches, it can be stabilized. So, I mean, obviously, nobody's got a tree that grows money in their backyard. So if you're within that spec of 3 inches or less, it can be stabilized and braced to stay right where it's at. If it is over 3 inches, it has to be excavated and the wall has to be pushed back to plumb. So if you have a walkout, essentially you would use the tiebacks. Tiebacks are essentially dead man. So you use an outside force anchor to help support that wall. Whereas if you have 4 walls, you can use what's called an I-beam or a wall restraint. And that will hold the foundation wall where it needs to be because it has lateral force or opposing force in the foundation wall adjacent to it or next to it. Cause of wall leaning is essentially a couple different things. 1 would be your grading. 2 would be drainage. 3 would be expansive soils. So I mean, there's things that you can control. If you have clay around your house, you can't control that. Grading, drainage, gutters, those are all going to play a role. Where you transition from, say, siding to foundation. If you go outside on a sunny day, your siding is going to overlap your foundation. So whereas if you have a foundation issue, the sun shining on your house casts a shadow. That shadow will reveal your foundation and how far it's moved in from the pressure. So I mean, it's literally, it boils down to when I tell people I can drive down the road and see it, that's the kinds of things I see. If the shadow gets bigger, that means the wall's going in. Start to finish on a let's say a wall that needs to be determined whether it can be pushed or rebuilt. I approach everything on a scale for, say, 1 being least, 10 being worst. The construction, the overall makeup of the foundation is a big determiner on whether it can be, fixed or has to be rebuilt. Typically, cinder block and stone are 2 that are, when they're really bad, they're bad, and that you're at the point where you got to rebuild. Concrete is a little more forgiving, but it's not without its flaws. If a builder cut corners and used a lower grade concrete, you'll see deterioration, and then you just have to use your knowledge and doing this for so long to know whether enough is enough with a wall or if that wall needs to be rebuilt.